Peace. So the ideology of our people, what we're seeing today, is being self-autonomous, becoming independent as a holistic unit, becoming independent. We have people who are building homes, building their own homes from scratch. And then we have people who are growing things and so on and so forth, food, vegetables, and and things of that nature. Community gardens, community, botanists, people who are getting together and building warm houses and so on and so forth to grow their own food because they see the necessity in growing their own food. And why is it a necessity? Because we have things like GMO foods. We have things like the Monsanto Federal Protection Act that was signed into place by Obama that protects something like Monsanto and their zombie seeds, their killing seeds, those seeds that, kill the real vegetation inside of gardens and so on and so forth. Monsanto wants to utilize and take control of all of the seeds that create food or vegetables and fruit. Monsanto wants to control all of that. The Federal Protection Act of Monsanto basically ensures that that will happen. You understand? Which is why there's a Federal Protection Act. So that means if you destroy anything that has Monsanto on it in this country, or is tied to Monsanto, there's a consequence for that. Yet, every other country on the planet has removed Monsanto from their paradigm. Monsanto doesn't exist in a lot of countries, in most countries, but it exists here. So we have to take a look at that. So when you become autonomous and you want to grow your own food, which I suggest, you want to have community gardens and you want to have holistic growth of food and so on and so forth, so you can feed yourself and get away from the GMO killing and the false and the fake food. That's a beautiful thing. But the thing is this: in order to grow vegetables, in order to grow them properly, you need water. And water is the real issue. Because, see, it takes water to make the seeds grow. It takes water to help the vegetables and so on and so forth grow. Sun, water, and earth combination. Out of that comes growth. But the thing is this: the water, again, we must examine the water. Because the water itself is what we must preserve. We can no longer sit by and watch and allow, different systems of our government to pollute water. Like, for instance, the military, specifically the United States Navy and the Coast Guard, specifically, they dump garbage into the oceans. I was in the Navy. I know they dump garbage into the ocean. Big plastic bags of garbage is dumped overboard as the ship is moving, constantly dumped overboard. And who knows, it's not biodegradable. It doesn't get broke down. It just floats and ends up on other people's shores and so on and so forth. So the water is polluted. It's polluted by the very people who are supposed to be preserving the seas and so on and so forth and protecting the landmass. So what we have to do is create technology or find some way to make sure we can clean our water up. Not only should we alkaline it, magnetize it, and so on and so forth, but we should refilter it, reprocess it, reclean it, and everything. That's what we're going to have to do. In order to have perfect growing food, you got to have good water. So we want to preserve the water. This is very important. Everything else, I can go days without eating, but if I don't drink some water, I'm going to have a problem. So water is a necessity that we need. So we must concentrate and focus on the water itself, because the water must be right. So we have to find ways to preserve the water. We have petitions, we have causes, we have different methods that we can utilize to petition Congress and so on and so forth to protect these waters. And we can protect it too. You know what I mean? By being able to redistribute the water and being able to clean it and so on and so forth, so it can help what we do in our community gardens and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So water is the key. Water is life. If the water is bad, it doesn't matter how many fruits and vegetables you have, because it's going to be poisoned by the water itself too. So we got to remember, the water is everything. The water is life. Everything comes out of water, and water is life. So we need water. On that note, save the water. Peace.